Hey, what's up, everybody? Gaming Hearts 1 here. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button to, to receive more videos that I put out every other day, each week, in regards to gaming news and, possible things that video game companies can do to give the people what they want in the future. Today, I'm just going to give my 2 cents in relation to Sony, what kind of year it's been for them, and what kind of year that I'm anticipating for them, or what to expect for that matter. 2022 has been a crazy year in general. There's been a lot of good and bad, mainly in the gaming world. And when you look at Sony, Sony pretty much has gotten more. I feel personally that they've gotten more positive publicity than Microsoft has, and the reason being is because Microsoft has gotten a lot of scrutiny for their acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and that was one of the largest gaming acquisitions of all time. And Sony responded to that, of course, by buying out Bungie, which was another third-party video game developer. And a lot of people are wondering what the future looks like for Sony. Basically, we look at this year, okay, and we got to see a couple of big games come out this year. One of them being Gran Turismo 7, which is one that fell below a lot of people's expectations, mainly because they were upset with the fact that the game was filled with nothing but microtransactions, and that's something that really hurt the quality of the game a lot, even though visually and mechanic-wise it was better than, or some people think it was better than Gran Turismo Sport. Gran Turismo Sport from 2017 for the PS4 was actually way more successful than Gran Turismo 7 was following its launch. And the thing is, I don't see Sony pretty much bragging about, the sales of Gran Turismo 7 too much, and I think there's a reason for that. A lot of people really didn't like it, or it's something that necessarily it did not live up to their expectations in terms of what they expected. And the thing is, like, on one hand, the Gran Turismo series has been declining in popularity for quite some time, because the racing genre was very popular during the 2000s and even to some extent during the early teens. Also, the competition has gotten a lot more stiffer and more competitive, because now more people are playing Forza games that are on Xbox, because I guess it's more. I mean, the Forza series is more fresh than Gran Turismo. Also, I guess because there's more variety and more creativity in the Forza games. And at this point, a lot of people feel like, Gran Turismo titles or more recent installments are just standard, racing simulation type games. And, everybody has their own preference on what they like versus what they don't like. A lot of people love Forza Horizon 4, and I feel like that's the game that really put the Forza series on the map. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but some people will probably argue in favor of some of the older Forza games as being the games that put the Forza series on the map. But anyways, Gran Turismo 7 was a game that fell below a lot of people's expectations, and I have no idea how much it sold or how much it will sell a year from now. But we look at best-selling games for the PS5 thus far. I'd say one of the best-selling games for the PS5 is the Demon's Souls game, and that's one that a lot of people recommend. In terms of, if you were to buy an PS5 game, you get Demon's Souls because it's awesome, and the whole 9 yards. But then there's also a handful of video games that's supposed to be coming out next year that a lot of people are looking forward to. One of them is Final Fantasy 16. It was something that was announced early this year, and pretty much the trailer looked amazing, and a lot of people are excited about the fact that it's coming out next year. It's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and as everybody know, it's published by Square Enix, and a lot of people are are wondering why this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I'm not exactly sure because I believe Final Fantasy 15 was also on Microsoft Windows and Xbox One, if I'm not mistaken. But it's going to be interesting to see how Final Fantasy 16 does as a PS5 exclusive. The official release date for that is not available just yet, but we do know it's supposed to be coming out sometime in Q2 or Q3 of next year, and hopefully that's something that doesn't get pushed back. A lot of people are also talking about the Avatar game, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. And, the Avatar, well, the very first movie came out a while ago. I think it came out back in the late 2000s. And, we've basically, it's like the series has been like dead since then, but we're supposed to be getting a whole string of movies throughout the decade, and I believe it's going to revive the series. It's going to get people to buy this game and possibly more Avatar games that come out in the future. We also have, I believe we have Diablo 4, which is supposed to be coming out in 2023, and I believe that's something that's going to be on multiple game systems, not going to just be on the PS5. So that's another. That's another third party game that's going to be on multiple game systems and all that. And I do feel that people have they have more options, and they could definitely they'll probably just get it for the Xbox Series X, depending on what the price is. Because the price of the PS5 is expensive. Xbox Series X is expensive as well, but like throughout this year, I've heard more issues with the PlayStation 5 that I did with the Xbox Series X, because I believe earlier in the year or sometime last year, there's complaints about the controllers being bad, the adaptive triggers and all that stuff malfunctioning, and that was really not a good look for Sony, along with the whole microtransaction controversy regarding Gran Turismo 7. All that stuff is really not a good look for Sony or what have you, but the PlayStation 5 is still very profitable. It's still doing well in sales, even though the Nintendo Switch right now is probably the best-selling game system out on the market right now, but that's only because the Nintendo Switch has been around since 2017, so that's something that's not too surprising. But as far as the future of Sony is concerned in relation to 2023, I have no idea what's going to happen. I do know that they're going to sell more PS5 consoles as the year progresses. I'm just waiting to see how God of War Ragnarok is going to perform in retail. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up becoming one of the best-selling video games on the PS5, mainly because of all the hype that has went into it. And God of War right now is probably one of the hottest action-adventure video game series out there right now. So 2023 is definitely going to be an interesting year, to say the least. And, a lot of people, including myself, is hoping that next year is going to be better this year for Sony. Hopefully they won't be embroiled in as much controversy or anything like that. I wouldn't say that the Gran Turismo series is dead or anything. I'm pretty sure there are people who play it. They just don't like the idea of being bombarded with microtransactions, and rightfully so. And I do feel that over time we're going to get better PS5 games that are basically going to attract more and more people, because I believe if I'm not mistaken, Bungie was responsible for the Halo series. So it's going to be interesting to see Halo games on the PlayStation 5, because that's a first, because since its inception, Halo has been on mainly Xbox consoles, and seeing on the PS5 is going to be a totally different yet unique gaming experience, especially with the adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback and all that stuff. So a lot of people are excited to see that, but the thing is, I don't think a brand new Halo game has been announced or anything like that just yet. And honestly, as far as the purchases are concerned, I'm not entirely sure if they're finalized or anything, like the thing with Bungie and the thing with Activision Blizzard, because you look at some of the games I mentioned, like Diablo 4 is supposed to be on multiple game systems, opposed to just being exclusively on Xbox consoles. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but it's cool to know that Diablo 4 is going to be on multiple game consoles, opposed to just Xbox game consoles and all that stuff. And we're just going to have to wait and see what the year holds for for Sony next year, and it's going to be interesting to see what games take off after their releases, and I guess what games are going to be the ones that people gravitate to more as we get closer to 2023 and as we go throughout that year and then get into 2024.